Welcome to The Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Hey y'all, I'm Jeremy Parsons. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. Lived in Nashville for about 10 years, and I made my way back home, and I'm a singer-songwriter, Americana, alt-country, country, singer-songwriter, whatever you like to call it. I started playing guitar when I was about 17 and took to writing shortly thereafter. When I was 21, I moved to Nashville, and within my first 3 months there, got a cut on a bluegrass record, and then began the whirlwind that was my career. It's just been having fun for about 13 years, I guess. But yeah, I love what I do, and I do what I love. On my upcoming record, which is called Things to Come, the record will be out January of 2021. So I'm really excited about that. Well, so when I was, music has always been a big part of my life. When I was growing up, my dad, he's a horticulturist, so he had a weekend gardening show on a country station here in town. They would do like the morning country radio show, and then he would have his little gardening segment for like an hour. People would call in and ask questions. And that's when I really got immersed in music, because it was always playing in between his spots. And he started taking me to live shows, and in Texas, there's a no shortage of venues to see someone play a live show. So it was just always around, and I don't think I really thought about that I could be a part of it until I was probably a teenager, and I'd always done high school sports, and then I just got that one coach that really made me not want to play any sports at all. We didn't see eye to eye on how we thought people should be treated. So luckily, when I was younger, my parents tried to get me to do a hobby. I was an outdoor kid, so they wanted me to like play piano or something, saxophone, or so I was like, I guess I picked guitar at random. So they bought me this guitar. I never played it. Kind of a cliche story for a lot of people. But when I was 17 and I just quit football, and I was like kind of just looking for a new craft, that guitar and I found each other, and it was just we've been together ever since. It's one of those things. I picked it up and I was like, oh, this is fun. And next thing you know, I wasn't doing my homework because I wanted to play guitar or something like that. And then it became a thing. And on into college, I was going to school for a kinesiology degree just to be like a trainer and stuff. And I like it because I like being physically active. It helps me like be more of a person on a daily basis, like eating or drinking water. It was never my passion, so I got to a point where I was like, you can always go back to school if you need to. The music industry is kind of like being a professional athlete. You could blow out your knee and you're done forever. It just takes like one sometimes. So I went up to Nashville when I was 21, and I lived up there for 10 years. I got cuts and some co-writes. I had a publishing deal. Just the typical stories. I was on a Grammy-nominated bluegrass record. I did a lot of things that a lot of people want to do, and I just enjoyed playing. I got to go overseas to Norway, a little stint in England, and it was just stuff I never would have done had I not gone up there. But then I think you always like find your way back home kind of deal. I've been down in Texas just playing shows at these venues. It's been really intimate. Like they want to hear like my songs and the stories behind the songs and everything. And I just fell back in love with the state. And so I've been back here making music and doing shows, and it's been awesome. It's been a cool career. Like if it's one of those things I could say, like if I died tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, we did it. I think it was just that like I wasn't happy where I was. And I mean, like it comes to a point where like you ask yourself, I was like, is it me who's making me unhappy where I am, or is it someone else? Because if it's on you, you can fix it. Like that's just the way it is. We can blame as many people as we want, but if I'm in control of it and I'm the only one left to blame, and I could change it, I was like, why not change it? But my dad approached me one evening and was like, hey, he's like, I could tell you're not really like vibing school. And I was like, no, I'm really not good. You're very perceptive, man. Quit looking at me. But he was like, you want to give Nashville a shot? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, we'll help you out for like a couple months. And I was like, okay, well by then, like if I don't have any traction anyway, then it's if something's gonna work kind of up front. Granted, like the entertainment industry is something you really got to like apply yourself to, and it takes a lot of time. It's not an overnight success thing, no matter what story you hear. But it worked though. Like within the first 3 months, I was like, I had that cut, and people were approaching me to make my own record, and it happened. It doesn't always work that way, but like I said, I could always I left knowing that I could always come home, type of deal. And that's kind of a nice little cradle, because like you can make a really good living just playing Texas. I just wasn't happy, and I needed to try. There's so many people that approached me when I was living in Nashville, like older gentlemen that would approach me and be like, man, I tried to do what you did once when I was your age, and I made it halfway and turned around and came home and didn't come back for like 15 years. And they said it was like biggest regret of my life. I was like, man, no regrets. Like you got this lane that you're driving down. You want to make sure that you like don't miss any of the sights on the way, And I think success is defined differently for everybody. Like I didn't have unrealistic expectations. Like I went there and be like, oh man, people fail. That's like, I approached this city with a very open mind of like, if I fail, I'm not a failure. I'm one of the people that didn't make it here. It's like my version of success is like, I could be an opening act till I die. As long as like, if I get to play music, like you're not going to hear me complain. Like it's like, that's a gift in itself. Yeah. I think my dad, that was his thing. And him doing that gardening show, that was at a traditional country station. So that was what I was really rooted in. And I don't think it was till one of my sisters hit my sister closest to me hit middle school, and she discovered like Matchbox 20 and stuff like that. That was like my gateway out of like country, which was weird. Like it's different for everybody. Some people start like rap and like, or punk or like metal or something, but I like all kinds of music. I'm just a fan of good music, which is, purely, it varies person to person as far as opinion goes. But I don't know. I think if you can tell when somebody's put heart into their work, and that's really what I look for. I want to feel something when I hear it. Right now, a dude named Jason Isbell, he's been one of my favorites for a while, but he just put out a new record, and that's always like all right, lock the door, like nobody bother me for a couple hours. I need to listen to this record type of experience, because he's one of those guys. It's like you're such a big fan of him, but it's like you go to his show and you look around the crowd, and it's like every dude is in there with his wife, and the wife loves him, but the dude is like mad with him. He like creates bromances all across the world he's like that guy. He's just got this swagger that you want to pay attention to him. And he's such a good guitar player, and he's just a poet. Like the stuff that he says like makes you feel bad about yourself as a writer. You're like, wow, I really need to get better. He's just like over there, like taking us to school every time. I love him, and I love guys like John Prine, who just recently passed away with coronavirus stuff, unfortunately. But I like different minds. I like when people go different ways with a thing that someone said a million times, but you've never heard it said that way, nor even thought that you should like think that it could be said that way. They really open up that door. Like it's the musical version of what George Carlin was for comedy, I guess. Just that weird free thinker of like, what did he just do with that thought? That was cool. It's almost like that you like them all for different reasons, but like performing for me is it's so you can't match that. I don't really know how to put it. It's almost like it's such a specific high that I've never gotten from anything else, like ever. Like you can't get it from a 5-hour energy or stuff. You can't you can't bottle that and sell it. Like if you, and I think maybe if you're doing it for like these reasons of like, wow, these people are like, it's so many elements at play. Like they're connecting with the song I wrote, they're connecting with me, they're like into your voice or like or something, like whatever you're doing to bring them with you, like it's all of those components working at once. And that's what's so cool about the live performance element is the studio can be kind of weird sometimes. Like you're bringing something to life that, I mean, you've just created with, you know, your voice and your guitar, the two instruments that you just usually always have with you. And then they put you in this room and they want you to emote. Like you're in a box and they want you to emote. So you're in there trying to like mess with the lights and create this vibe or something, like maybe bring your own strobe light with you or something, whatever the song is requiring. But that's fun too, because it's like in the songwriting deal is it's almost like when you decide to have a baby, like you get pregnant, like you write the song, like you get it out, and then you deliver the song, like you bring it to life, and then you deliver that song to the world. So it's just like this really cool process. I don't, it's all so cool, but I'd say live performance is unbeatable, hands down. And I think like as you grow as an artist, you learn that all those, like when you're writing, just you're doing your own thing, but like as you evolve, it becomes more about everyone else. I'm writing a song for them. I'm recording the song for them. I'm performing a song for them. Like it's like it becomes this thing because people want you when you get fans, they're like new family who are supportive of you and they want to see you do something new. They can't wait for the new product. They can't wait for the new song. They can't wait for the next show. So you always want to keep giving them something because it's like, I don't know, it's fun. It's like that it's nice to be wanted and needed, I guess, in that way, especially when you're doing something you love and they're responding so positively to it. Like that's a win-win. Norway for sure. That was we spent like 2 weeks over there, and it was beautiful. And but like the whole setup was they took care of us. Like I've never like I it is where I went from like this like traveling in a van with like five other dudes to like riding on a bus and going to Norway. It was a really big train, like very fast. So like I was overwhelmed, but it was like the cool, like they had a setup like in hotels in every town. Like I don't, it was these independently booked by pretty much these people who wanted this. They wanted to bring a package show over like they used to do back in the 50s, like when like Hank Williams and all them would get together and go around like these country music caravan, let's call it that. That's kind of cool. But they wanted to bring that over to Norway, so they packaged together like 10 artists, and I wasn't originally supposed to go, but I guess one person got sick, and so I got to jump on. And that was like a big deal because I got to go on that trip. A lot of other things happened. It was one of those things. It was meant to be, I guess, so it happened. But yeah, I loved it over there. Like I slept with my window open. It was like clean air. The food was good. Everyone was so nice. Girls were like all taller than me. It was insanely awesome. It doesn't disappoint. Like when you go overseas, you want to see something like really cool and beautiful, and like they've like preserved things like exactly how you think they should in their mind, and they deliver on all of that. And the fjords are really cool. I got lucky though; it wasn't super cold when I went over there because I am not very cold tolerant. Just a San Antonio thing, I guess. But I don't do very well in the cold. I'm a big baby. I'll admit it. Dang, that's a good one. I think it probably bounces in between a Tom Petty's like "Running Down a Dream" as far as like the cover songs go. Like, and then I bounce between that and man, there's a song that Rodney Crowell wrote. He's from Texas, but like big songwriter overall. And George Strait cut it, but it's called "Stars on the Water," and it's just like such a fun song to play. Like it's two chords. So you just like can do this cool like down to down to down like walk down thing. It's just fun. Like I have to like I enjoy like a lot of people like that song in my set, so I kind of have to save it for the end. But I always want to play it. like during my sets. I'm like, I gotta save it, but I want to play it right now. Like the live shows is great, and you know, I mean, I consider it like all my fans are pretty much my friends. Like that's the way that I look at it. Like if you think that you can't walk up and talk to me at a show or something, it's because I messed up somewhere probably. Like, and I'm sorry for that, but it's like I keep in touch with them all the time. Like it's over Instagram or Facebook. Like I try to stay like, and there's contact submission stuff on my website, but like, you know, I have people that have been coming to shows for years, and like, you know, if I'm free and in town and they can't make it to the show, I'll grab coffee with them. Like they're friends now. It's like that, and I mean, there's some people you have to keep at a distance because it can get kind of weird. But that's with anything, you know. But it's like I usually like to bring people in close. It's important to me because no one likes to be like, you know, no one likes to feel like they're not part of the group. Yeah, I love some of my buddies are on I had a buddy that was on Sony, and he shared this girl's thing one time, and I just messaged him. I was like, dude, because we played in the downtown bars in Nashville. I was like, what'd you think? Like years ago, you could have just changed someone's life by like replying to their Instagram story, and he just laughed. He was like, it's so cool. Always want to continue to grow. So as long as I continuously see growth, I don't want to be unrealistic about it. Like, oh, I want to have 3 Grammys by then, but I just want to continue to grow in the way that I have because I like the pace of it. Like I'm able to learn things and then apply them, learn things and then apply them. So that's my goal.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.